ClickFunnels can be so confusing. If that's how you're feeling right now, stay tuned because this is going to give you a ClickFunnels tutorial of everything you need to know to start creating successful funnels now inside of ClickFunnels. Stay tuned. All right, hello everyone, this is Spencer from Buildapreneur, and we're going to be talking about ClickFunnels in this tutorial, okay? We're going to be diving in. I'm going to show you step-by-step everything you need to do if you're just starting out with ClickFunnels, how to use the editor, how to get started, everything in a step-by-step fashion for your viewing pleasure. If you like what you're watching at any point, click subscribe or like. So let's just dive in here. The first thing I want you to understand is what is ClickFunnels, okay? What it really is. ClickFunnels is not a website builder. It's not WordPress. It's not Wix. It's not there for you to build out a website with a menu and a bunch of things like that, okay? ClickFunnels is a place where you typically send paid advertisements or basically where you build the you increase the value of your customer, okay? So ClickFunnels is there for you to be able to send people and be able to capture their emails and then sell things to them, okay? And then that's at its core, that is what ClickFunnels is for. Yeah, you can use it for other things, but that's what you should be using it for. How's that? If you don't understand the concept of a funnel, basically the idea of a sales funnel is when we send traffic to our stuff, to our website, to anywhere, we want to, one, capture their email address, and then two, we want to sell them some smaller things in order to break even and recoup our ad costs. And then for those people that have proven that they really like our products and that they're really interested in what we have to sell and kind of our market, then we can sell them more things, okay? We can upsell them and continue to sell them in a buying journey, basically, a sales funnel, where we say, hey, if you're clearly interested in this stuff, how about I add some more value? And a lot of people will continue to buy, okay? And in that way, we're able to drastically increase the value of our customers and how much money we make off each customer that comes to our website or our sales funnel, okay? So we're going to talk about exactly how that all works. We're looking inside of my, oh, look, we can see me twice there. We're looking inside of my ClickFunnels account here. You can see the basic dashboard. Yours is probably not going to show a lot of this stuff because I've bought a lot of their products and I've got a lot of stuff going on inside of ClickFunnels, you know, people opting in, things like that. But this is what you're going to see when you basically log into ClickFunnels, okay? We're going to start with this one funnel and I'm going to build it from scratch, okay? That'll make everything a lot easier for everyone and help everyone see things a lot better. Now, a few things you need to know before you get started with ClickFunnels, and that is you need to have some basic setup stuff that happens before you ever start building your first funnel, okay? There's three things that I tell everyone they need to do. You need to get integration set up, you need to get payment set up, and you need to get domain set up. Boring, but let's talk about it real quick, okay? First thing is integrations. So think about this. When someone comes to your sales funnel, like we talked about, and a lot of the free training talks about, you want them to put in an email address, right? You want to capture an email address as soon as possible because if that person leaves for whatever reason, they get distracted, they decide they don't like your product, they don't like how you look, they don't like your face, whatever, they click X and they're gone, you want to have their email address captured as soon as possible so that you can continue to sell them things, right? You can sell them via email now and you don't have to pay money for more ads to be able to get that same person back to your page. You captured an email so you can send them free emails. It's awesome. So the way we do that typically is they put in their email address. And ClickFunnels has a built-in email autoresponder, but most people, probably about 80-90% of people, use their own autoresponder like ActiveCampaign, MailChimp, any of those. I use ActiveCampaign. You should too. But anyway, now that threw me off. So the first thing we want to do is get our integration set up so that when someone puts in an email address, it automatically pulls that email and puts it in ActiveCampaign, and then ActiveCampaign, we can start emailing them there, or whatever our email autoresponder is, right? We want that email to be captured, and we want that email to be emailed, to get emails, and the way we do that is we integrate, okay? So if you go to the Integrations tab here, where is it? If you don't have an email autoresponder, you're going to need one, and if you go to buildapreneur.com/free, I'm going to offer you a free course on how to get started with all this. But anyway, you're going to basically, it's really easy to do. You're going to click Add New Integration once you've signed up for ActiveCampaign or MailChimp or whatever you decide. And it's got a bunch of different ones that it integrates with, okay? But you're going to choose ActiveCampaign. By the way, there's a link down below to ActiveCampaign. I really do love ActiveCampaign. I'm very happy with it. But anyway, you're going to integrate. It's going to take about 10 seconds. It'll talk you through the process. You're going to have an ActiveCampaign account to do it. And then basically what that tells you is you have the ability now when someone puts in an email address on one of your pages to capture that and keep it and email it, right? And it's yours now. You own it. Or they own it, but you own access to email that email address as long as you don't abuse it. So that's the first thing. Get your integration set up, okay? You don't want to be spending money and sending people to your sales funnels if you don't have an email capture integration, because you're wasting your money. You want to be building that email list because that's going to be a core part of your business in the future. Second thing, besides integrations, is domains, okay? So ClickFunnels by default, everything is going to, the name that you entered when you first got ClickFunnels is going to show up kind of like this, okay? Let me show you here in my own URL, Buildapreneur.ClickFunnels. Okay, you can see one right there. That's kind of like the default link that ClickFunnels is going to spit out when you create your first funnel. That doesn't look very pretty, right? Buildapreneur.clickfunnels.com/opt-in25677077. We want something nice and pretty that we can tell people, like buildapreneur.com/free, right? We can say it and it looks pretty. So the way we do that, we have to have a domain. If you own your own domain, you're going to go in there and you're going to go to domains and you're going to add a new domain. And it's going to say, hey, do you own one already, or do you need to get a new one? Okay, if you own one, you're probably going to want to add ClickFunnels to a subdomain. So if you saw what I did here, I have go.buildapreneur.com, a subdomain where I now can have all my ClickFunnels traffic reside on go.buildapreneur.com. If you don't own your own domain, or you want to do it with a separate domain, then you'll click Add Domain, and ClickFunnels is going to give you one free one, and then you can buy as many as you want after that for typically $20, unless it's a crazy high-priced domain. Okay, so those are the two ways: add your own domain if you already have one, or you can register a new one. Once your domain is there, now you can add funnels to domains, and instead of it saying buildapreneur.clickfunnels.com/blah blah 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 blah, I can say buildapreneur.com/free or go.buildapreneur.com/free, which looks a lot prettier, right? Just kind of some aesthetic stuff and things like that. And the last thing is, we've talked about how we want to capture people's emails when they put in email addresses in our funnels. Well, guess what? We want to capture people's money when they put their email or their credit card in our funnels too, right? So we need to connect to Stripe, or to some kind of billing, okay, whatever you use. Stripe, PayPal. PayPal's a little more complicated. I would recommend just signing up for Stripe. Go to stripe.com, and there's a link down below to that as well. And, oh, that's not what we're going to. Payment gateways. Go to stripe.com, getting a Stripe account, and then you're going to, it's very, very easy to do. Same thing as ActiveCampaign. Stripe's going to give you some information. ClickFunnels is going to give you some information. You're going to plug it in. You're going to click Stripe, follow the steps. Sorry, I've already set up my Stripe account, so I can't show you the steps as much as I would like to. But you're going to follow the steps, and then you're going to be good to go. And now, when someone puts money in their credit card into a product page, a sales page, that money is going to go into your Stripe account. You're actually going to keep that money instead of just it disappearing and going nowhere. Okay, so now you've got it set up to where things will work. You can actually send money to things because you'll capture emails, and it'll look pretty in the domain, and that the money will actually show up in your account when they put in credit card and try to buy your product. Okay, all very, very important. Next thing we're going to do, when you go to create a new funnel, which I'm assuming most of us are, I was just playing around with two funnels, you're going to go to add new here, and it's going to give you two options. Basically, these are templates, okay? I'm not going to get too much into them because we're going to start from scratch, but you can go in here, and it's going to give you a pre-built template where you just have to switch out images and text and things like that. Fairly useful, but for the learning phase, I think it's better if we start totally from scratch. So you want totally from scratch, you're going to go to this, and then you're going to go create a custom funnel right here, and you're going to give it a name, test funnel for video. Group tag, we'll say test. So you can tag all your funnel and then kind of get a good idea of, then you can look in specific tags and find funnels that are, for specific things. I don't recommend filling your account with funnels, even though I do that. Okay. Now when you're creating your first funnel, there's a couple things to know. The first thing is that each step of the funnel is going to show up right here. So there's one right here. We're going to add new steps, and then each step of the funnel is going to show up there. That's essentially your customer's buying journey, okay? A typical funnel, they're going to go to an opt-in page where you capture their email address and give them something for free. Then the funnel is automatically going to send them the next step where you're probably going to sell them something, maybe something small, $27, $30, $40. What if for the people that buy that, your funnel is going to send them to another sales page where you sell them something maybe a little bigger, $100, $200, $300, right? And then you can even add another one where you sell a $1,000 product or however you want to go about it. But the idea here is this customer buying journey, right? People that are buyers, we want to keep offering them stuff. They've already bought stuff. They clearly are very, very interested, and they've got their wallet out and they're ready to buy. No harm in making another offer to them, right? And that's what ClickFunnels is going to do. So, but I guess the important thing you need to know is each of these up here, as you're building your pages, each page has a specific purpose, okay? And you need to choose the proper purpose or the page won't work, okay? There's specific coding that goes with each page for it to work. If you're going to take credit card information on that page, it needs to be a sales page, okay? And it needs to be an order form because you're taking credit card order form pages. If you're taking email, if you're just taking an email address, like it's an opt-in or a squeeze page, whatever you call it, then it needs to be an email opt-in page because that's the page type that's set to be able to work with integrations and stuff, okay? If you're doing a webinar within ClickFunnels, you're going to need to choose a webinar page and the webinar type. If it's a membership page or it's affiliate page, whatever, okay, you see how that works? Or miscellaneous is just like random stuff. So you need to select the proper one. Typically, like I said, for a starter funnel, we want to capture an email address in the beginning. And so it's going to give us all these templates for email addresses, okay? And I was going to have us start from scratch, but it just seems easier now that I'm looking at all these. Because these are all, I usually would typically choose one of these because they're pre-built. They're already, a lot of them have already been proven to work and stuff like that. I always try to go as simple as I can, and a lot of these aren't as simple as I would like, but yeah, let's do with that one. Okay, so we select it, and now our funnel has one step. It is an opt-in step where we capture an email address, okay? And we're going to build out our whole funnel real quick, and you would do something similar. Name of the funnel, let's say this is now the sales page, okay? Sales page. And I'll talk about the path here in a minute, but sales page. That's essentially what's going to show up right here after your domain name, buildapreneur.com/sales page. Okay. And it says, what type of page is this? Because we've only named it, right? Well, this is a sales page. Okay, and do we just want to sell without taking an order form, or do we want to actually take an order from this page? I'm going to say we're going to sell, and once they click the button on that page, we're going to send them on to the third step in the funnel where we say, okay, now put in your credit card information. Here's some cool sales pages. Let's go with 7 figures this year. Okay, and ClickFunnels, basically on each of these pages, there's going to be a button, right? We've seen that each page has a big button, and you set the settings on the button to say, go to the next step in the funnel, okay? Or you can do whatever you want with the button. Go here, go there, but there's a setting that says go to the next step in the funnel when people click this button. So now let's say we want to take an order form. Path order form. Okay, so it's going to be buildapreneur.com/order form. And now I think we're ready to start building. So let's go to our opt-in. Oh, we need to select the template, okay? Sales order form. Okay, here are our order form templates. Let's choose that one. Okay, so now you get kind of the idea of this, okay? So now we've got this flow of funnels. People come in here, they put in their email. Once they click submit, it sends them here where we offer them, we sell them something, maybe some video and things like that. Once they click yes, I'm interested, we send them to the order form where they put in their information. And then the true power of ClickFunnels, the very last one, it's called upsell. Okay, and this is where we say, okay, you've paid us $39. You've already put in your credit card information. Click this button down below and add something to your order, okay? And that is an upsell page type. So we need to have that one-click upsell. They just click one button and they get it. So let's choose this template. And now we've got a fairly, oops, sorry, I bumped the camera there. We've got a fairly classic standard sales funnel. Okay, and we're going to go into each of these pages and now edit them to look good. And we're going to edit the buttons to tell it what to do when people actually click things and things like that. There's 2 more things you need to know while before you're in an actual step of a funnel. That's all this stuff up here. Ooh, that's a lot of stuff. I'm not going to go over all of it because it would take me 4 hours. But the thing you need to know is up here, this blue tab, that is funnel-wide settings, okay? Settings that will apply to this entire funnel. For example, hey, if someone puts in payment information, I want it to go to Stripe, things like that, okay? We can even have a quick peek in here. So you can see I have Stripe there being the integration. The only thing you're going to really worry about right now is which domain. If you have multiple domains, you need to say, hey, I don't want it to be buildapreneur.clickfunnels.com. I want it to be on the domain go.buildapreneur.com, okay? Now you're going to select that and click save at the bottom here, but I'm not going to select that because, anyway, for a lot of reasons that I won't talk about. And then we can choose the path for the whole funnel, okay? So when someone goes to go.buildapreneur.com / whatever I type in here, I want it to go to here. I want it to go to this step of the funnel, okay? So let's say I say my test funnel. Okay, so now when someone goes to go.buildapreneur.com / test funnel, it's going to send them to the first step in this sales funnel, whatever that is. Okay, so that's what these 2 things are, and you're good to go if you don't understand that. The other things are funnel-wide stats, any contacts that have come through your funnel, and any sales that have come through your funnel. Now, this tab right beneath that, those are specific to the actual page that you're working on, okay? So on this page, if there's any automation, which I wouldn't worry too much about all this stuff right now, but when you're adding products and things to pages, you're going to worry a lot more about it. But that's what these lower ones are, is anything that's specific to that page. For example, if you want to send out a little, like, an email to someone that puts in their email address or whatnot. And then there's a few, like, random things you can do here with Like I said, I'm not going to worry about it too much, honestly, because you don't need to know that for now. So now we're ready. You understand all of that. You understand everything you need to do. This will be showing Buildapreneur or Buildapreneur, go.buildapreneur.com. Woo, sorry. The last thing we're going to talk about is the URL structure, okay? There's actually 3 structures within ClickFunnels, and that can be very, very, very confusing. The first one is basically a link, a URL for the whole funnel, okay? And this is where we send people, and basically it's going to forward to whatever the first step in that funnel happens to be, okay? So for me, I usually do like, this would be like go.buildapreneur.com/test would be the link for this funnel. The way I would go set that is, you remember we did it right there in the path. Okay, the second place you can do a link is each funnel step. So I should have 4 funnel steps, has its own special link. So you can send people directly to that funnel step if you want, and that's what's going to show up when someone's there. So that is changed right here. So each funnel step you see right here is changed right here, and that will automatically send them to that step of the funnel. And you can change the path. So go.buildapreneur.com/ right here for that. And then there's a third place, okay? And that's what you need to understand, that each funnel step can actually have 2 pages, and ClickFunnels will variate. It'll send some people to this one, and some people to, if I create a variation, it would put it right here. It'll send some people to that one. In fact, we'll create it so you can see what I'm talking about, because we might be confusing people. Okay, so now this, and I can set it right to the middle here. This funnel step, when someone goes here, it's going to send half the people to here and half the people to here. And the purpose for that is testing. We can test and say, hey, which one does better? Okay, which is very, very useful, right? You might want to see, like, if I phrase it this way, does it do better? Or if I phrase it this way, does it do better? Or if I add a video, does it do better? Or if the button's green or red or black or yellow, does it do better? All very useful stuff, okay? So now we've got 2 pages per funnel step, which means that each individual page has its own URL. That can be confusing. I hope if you're confused by this, don't worry about it too much in the beginning. But each individual page can be changed right here, where we say, hey, not only do I want to send someone directly to this step, but I want to send them directly to this page of that step, okay? And the page has its own path, okay? So hopefully that wasn't too confusing. I understand that is a little bit confusing. But basically, if someone goes to the link that you established right here, they're going to go to whatever is the first step in the funnel. If someone goes to the link that's right here, okay, then they're going to go to one of these 2 pages. It'll split it each time. And then if somebody goes to the link that's in this path right here, they're going to go directly to that exact page that you created right there. Okay? Woo! Hopefully we didn't lose anybody on that. If we did, let's get some comments down below. And I promise you, I always answer comments and I always clarify. Something to note at this point, if you go to buildapreneur.com/free, I do have a huge course, totally for free, on ClickFunnels that goes even more in depth than this video is going, okay? It can teach you all this, but much, much more in depth, much more examples and things like that. So if you're feeling like you're just totally overwhelmed and you want to really dive into a good quality course, totally free, you just got to put in your email address. Go ahead and head there now. Leave a little comment before you do, just to say, hey, thanks for the video. I would love that. I love comments to know that I'm actually on the right track here. Let's continue moving on. Okay, let's look into the editor. Edit the page. Okay, now I'm actually going to delete this so that I can show you from scratch. Each page comes with a background. Okay, that is set in the settings here. You can make it just a color, you can make it totally white, you can make it whatever you want, you can make it a pretty picture like this, whatever you want. Each page comes with the background. Now, once we're within the page, a page is broken down into a few things. It's broken down into sections, which is basically a section spans all the way from the left to the right of the screen, okay? So if I go to add a section here, that's basically from left all the way to right, okay? It can't be broken up or anything like that. It covers the entire thing. Now I can do a full width section, which would cover all the way from the left to the right, or I could just do a wide one, which is like, looks like this. Let's click and drag it in there. Okay, and a wide section goes from here to here, meaning you can still see some of your background. Or you can go a small one, like the other options were, and that'll only go from like here to here, like basically a little box on your screen, okay? Now, we've got a section. Within sections are rows. Now, the reason that these are broken out is because rows can be broken down into columns, meaning if I want to put an image on one side and some text on the other side, I can do that within a row. So I click add a row, and you can see rows are always blue, and I can pick 2 columns, and now guess what? That section has been broken, I've added a row to the section, and that row now has 2 columns. Now within those columns, I add elements. And elements are everything else, okay? It's the buttons, it's the opt-in forms, it's the text, it's the headlines, it's the paragraphs, it's the bullet points, it's the videos, it's the pictures, it's everything. That's elements, okay? And that's right here. So I can go click, I click plus in there, and it would say, what elements do you want to add? Headline, subheadline, a little smaller, paragraph, image, whatever you want, right? And there's a demo image. So that's how the structure works. So hopefully that all makes sense, okay? So I could add another row right beneath this that was 3 columns, and boom, I've got a 3-column row, and I can have an image here and some text over there and there, however I want to do it. Now, the thing to know is with each one of these, so sections, rows, and elements can all be edited. They're all going to have things you want to do to them, right? So for example, this image, I'm going to want to choose a better image. So if I click settings here, I can choose the image. Boom. And I can upload from my computer right there, and that's the image. Let's choose an image of me. I'm a narcissist. What can I say? Hey, it's me. I'm like the same color as the mountains floating there. Now I can add an element, and I can add a headline right here, right? And an element has different settings we might want. We might want to change the color. We might want to change the size. We might want to change the font. So you kind of get in the hang of this. So I would go to the settings of that, and you're going to see it matches what that is. Let's make the font a little bigger. Okay, let's make the color a little bigger. If we want to do bold text, maybe we want the bold text to be a different color. Maybe we don't. And maybe we want to change the font to something more. One of my favorites is this one. Kind of fun, right? So lots of things you can do like that with headlines. And then you might want to change the background, okay? You might want to change the background of that. The background color from clear to less clear. I might want to change the opacity of that color. So you watch me build this live. Make it a little see-through, right? Oh, that's kind of pretty, right? And then I might want to change the margin, which is basically the distance from the top to when this actually starts. Whoop, whoop. Seeing that? Okay, so I can't go through every setting of every single element, but basically pretty much any change you'd want to make to an element is possible inside the settings of that element, okay? So I can add videos. Maybe we should look over some of the elements real quick. We can have images. We can have images that they click and it pops out. We can have videos that they click and it pops out. Audio players, if you just want to add like an audio thing at the bottom. Big buttons, okay, which buttons are obviously very useful, and we'll talk about that later on. Inputs. Now, this is where things get a little more important. Inputs are these. This is where we actually capture their email address. So important, right? And what are their settings that we might want with that input? Well, we're going to need to explain to ClickFunnels and to our email autoresponder what they're putting in there. When someone puts something in there, it's an email address, okay? Now it's good to go. And then what do we typically have under there? We've got a button element. Okay? And well, that button looks kind of weird, wouldn't you agree? So let's go to the settings and see if we can change it. Well, I don't like the color, let's say. So let's change the color to a nice, that's kind of like a brand color for me. I don't like how it's like really skinny, so let's go to some of these settings. Obviously, you're gonna have to figure these out. And let's change the button width to the whole thing, kind of like that. You see, like it's just so, it's crazy. I mean, honestly, how easy it is to very quickly have a pretty good looking page. Obviously, this isn't pretty good looking, but it could be pretty good looking. You can do all kind of things to the button where you can, I can make it round like that, which I would never do, but I could. And you can do really whatever you want with these buttons, okay? So you're seeing this? Like, that's pretty good. Let's say I want to change that text. I can change the text by my stuff, okay? Do I want to make some edits to the image, like drop it down, maybe add the margin? You seeing that? Add a link if I want to add a link. Hopefully you're getting the idea here of how this all works, okay? You can literally build anything you want. There is nothing you cannot build inside the ClickFunnels editor. However you want it to look, you can make it look that way. You just need to figure out how to do it. Now remember this button. What do we want it to do when we push that button? Well, with the action, we want it to like go to a website? Well, no. We want it to submit, okay? And if it submits, then it's automatically going to go to the next step in the funnel after it submits, okay? So when we click that button, we want it to submit that email address to our autoresponder, which that makes sense, right? Like we would want that because then our email autoresponder can email them what they are being offered here, and it can email them more things that we want to sell them in the future. Okay, I'm trying to decide here if I should go through all the elements. I probably won't, but it's important to note that all of the funnel pages have settings, okay? Integrations, yeah, we already integrated our email autoresponder, right? We already told that. Well, guess what? That was an account-wide integration. We said, hey, ClickFunnels, I have an active campaign account. I want it to be possible. I want it to be possible to link my funnels to that active campaign account. But within each individual funnel page, we need to explain to ClickFunnels, hey, when someone puts in information right here, I want it to be integrated with active campaign. And you're like, oh, what do you want it to do? Oh, I want to add to a list. And then we can start emailing people in active campaign as they get added to that list. That's in my email automation course at buildapreneur.com/free. So if you want to learn that, it's super cool because it all happens in automation, right? Someone comes in, they enter their email address, active campaign automatically emails them. It's a beautiful thing. We're totally out of the picture. We can be on the Bahamas sipping whatever we sip. Okay. Other settings, SEO metadata. You're going to want, you're probably going to post this on Facebook or something at some point, or someone else is going to, hopefully. So we don't want it to look ugly. We want to choose the picture that Facebook pulls. We want to choose the text that Facebook pulls. We do all that with the metadata. Okay, title, description, and social image. Okay. Tracking code, we're not going to talk a lot about this, but if you do Facebook ads, Google ads, any of those, whoever is running your ads, if it's you, you're going to want to know this. Probably someone who's running your ads, though, will tell you, hey, I want tracking code. This is where you would insert tracking code. If you're crazy and you understand CSS and how to program, you can actually do custom CSS and enter in all kinds of code and actually code this page instead of just build it, with this visual editor. I would recommend it. Background, that's the background right there. We can choose the default font for the whole page here. And then general is kind of some random stuff that we're not going to talk too much about. A lot of ClickFunnels pages will show up with a little badge here that says built-in ClickFunnels. We don't want that. Hide. Okay. And the rest of those are probably okay. So that's the ClickFunnels editor. Okay. And now we're pretty much ready to go. I'm going to show you one more thing and then we're going to be going. You can save. And then you can always preview what you've just saved. And you can see what it's going to look like. I totally understand it looks like crap. If I wanted to make this look good, I wouldn't have done this, but I just wanted to show people. So I can click and drag. Here's another cool thing I can click and drag. I just kind of wanted to show people how the funnel could work. But real quick, maybe I'll make it just a little better looking so I'm not embarrassing myself with ugly funnels. Watch this. I can drag my columns, make them different sizes if I want it to look like that. Okay, I can add a background to this particular background color to the row. That's a setting that I could offer to the row. Ooh, that's terrible looking. Do something like that maybe. Anyway, it doesn't look great, but it looks less terrible now, right? Boom. Put in your email and get nothing. So the last thing I want to talk about, two things, is mobile view. Okay. When you go to a website on your phone and it's like this humongous, ugly, ghetto website and you hate it, yeah, that is very annoying and people aren't gonna react well when you do that. So the first thing to know is ClickFunnels is gonna do its best. Okay, it's gonna take your website and it's not gonna make it look totally ghetto on a phone, but you can actually customize it to make it look exactly like you want on someone's mobile phone. Okay, and the way we do that is so each of these things has a mobile-specific font, okay? So mobile font size you can edit. The other way is we can hide things, okay? So this particular element or this particular row or this entire section, okay? Each of those has settings at the bottom where we can say, hey, show on mobile only, hey, show on desktop only, or hey, just hide it, period. Okay? So that can be very, very useful if you're saying, hey, it looks weird on mobile, I wish I could hide this. Worst to worst, if you want it to show on both, but it looks weird on mobile, then you'll create two. One of them will be hidden on desktop. One of them will be hidden on mobile. And then it will look great on both, okay? But you can see this looks pretty good on mobile. I'm going to hide this. Actually, I'm just going to delete that because that wasn't useful on the desktop either. So I'm going to delete that. And boom, that looks pretty good, right? On a desktop phone. It doesn't sound pretty good. Change the text, buy my stuff, but it looks pretty classic, okay? And the last thing we want to talk about is, we're going to exit out here. Always save before exiting, or you're going to be in a pickle, is the actual order form pages, okay? So product pages, you see on this tab right here that's specific to the page we're on, it just added a new. So on the opt-in, there's only 3. And when I go to the order form, now magically a product page has shown up, which means we can add products that get delivered when someone actually buys. A lot of people struggle with this in the beginning because it's kind of confusing. I'll be honest, I don't think ClickFunnels did this the best. And so new users get in, they're like, wait, I don't understand. I'm selling them something, but how do I actually deliver it? That's where the product tab comes in. Basically, this product tab says, hey, on this order form page, anyone that puts in credit card information is going to get this product. So we add the product. We're going to name it. We're going to select our billing integration, right? We already integrated Stripe at the beginning. We're going to enter the amount, or if it's, you know, monthly or whatnot. And if you're doing PayPal, you're going to do it with that, and it sucks and it's complicated. So like I said, I prefer not to. But this is all beta, so don't use that. And then up here, you basically, a lot of times we're doing digital products. This is your fulfillment email, like, hey, thank you for buying my product, right? Here's how you access your thank you page, or here's how you access your digital product or your course or whatnot. You're going to be getting an email soon. There's a lot of ways that people go about this depending on if it's a physical product or a digital product or just a phone call or whatever it is. This is where you identify and give them that fulfillment email. If you want it to be automatic, you can actually use an email integration, right? I can say, hey, put them in a list in ActiveCampaign if they buy, and then once they get in a list in ActiveCampaign, I know this sounds confusing, but this is an email automation course. Then once they get in that list, then send them here. Okay, or you can integrate shipping if you're an e-commerce person, which a lot of people aren't. And if you do affiliate marketing, you could mess with that all here, but I wouldn't worry too much about that because you're probably not going to do that in the beginning. Okay, so that's how you add products, okay? And then you actually deliver your products once they buy, okay? Now, a lot of people are like, wait, what are these two tabs up here? If you have the full $300 a month ClickFunnels plan, this is an email autoresponder. So when I was talking about ActiveCampaign, that's what this is. It's ClickFunnels version built in. It's just the same though. You just have Actionetics instead of ActiveCampaign that you use in your integration. And this is for hosting affiliate programs, meaning if you want affiliates to sell your product for you, if you know what that is. If you don't know what that is, stay away from it for a while until you get into the industry. But if you, then this will host it and this will help you with all that. And those two come with the $300 a month plan as opposed to the $100 or $97 a month plan. Okay. So that is ClickFunnels. Now, like I said, I always answer comments. So if you have questions or comments, please leave them below. Within a few days, I will get in and I will answer those and make sure those questions are answered. Please leave comments. Please leave thumbs up. And remember, buildapreneur.com/free. Check out, there's like a card here. There's links down below to buildapreneur.com/free. There's also links to ClickFunnels. But remember, you go there and this 40 minutes of content will expand into 4 hours of content of a full, incredible course taught by an ex-ClickFunnels member. Very, very powerful. Very, very well done. So you should definitely do it. Thanks for watching, everyone. I know this has been a long one. If you're still watching at this point, you're crazy. Just kidding. Thanks so much.